Hey, Don.
Really?
How you doing?
I think I'm all right. I like working with Zoom so much better than Teams.
What's that?
I said I like Zoom way better than Teams meetings.
Yeah, I do too. I'm discovering there's an awful lot to this software, much more than meets the eye, but in a good way, you know.
Yeah. A lot of that stuff is I think we use a lot of softwares that we never really use all of the software.
Mhm.
Know the pieces that we want to know.
Like I know I can do a parking garage like we were talking about and then have buildings wrapped around it, but I just have to figure out how do you actually do that, you know,
Yeah.
the thought process so that you do it the right way and keep everything
The
working.
good thing is you can usually ask specific questions and you know, instead of just
Yeah.
well, I was going to look up our speaker's name and see if you know him or how to. He's from Spencer. Joseph Ayalia. Ayala.
That name sounds familiar. I think he's been in our hall since COVID hit.
Ayala. When he spells his name Joseph, it tells you that's a different nationality than
Yeah, right.
it could probably a Spanish name, I'm guessing.
Hey guys.
Hey, Eldon.
Sure.
Hey, Don.
Hey, how we doing?
Hey. Good.
We're doing good. Thank y'all for being available today.
Yeah.
Really appreciate it. So Leif, this is our good friend Vamsi, and this is her good friend, Dr. Uma, who is now our good friend.
Okay.
This Don is in the middle bottom. Don Yonke, he's the guy that's responsible for us using these SIP panels. He's been in the construction industry over 35 years. He's a building science guru behind not just building, but building better. Yeah. Why he's all about the panels and quality housing and good air and efficiency. So he's plugged us in with some of the best people in the country, literally for what we're constructing. And then Lath is a good friend of his. Don's known him for a few years, many years.
Yeah.
And he's an architect. And so, with his background, found a program that he wanted to demonstrate to you. So like that 30-acre deal in Anna,
Mhm.
that's her project. So she hasn't seen it, you know, what we did yesterday or day before. And I just wanted to let you test drive that deal and just to show them how impressive that the software is and if they had any questions.
Yeah, and I'll share it here, but I can tell you it's you know, they make it look easy. There's a lot to it, and I'm excited about digging into it. Let me get the latest and greatest opened up here. Let's see. Can I share my screen?
Yes, sir, you should be. Oh. There you go.
Okay. And I think Jack was talking about next week, him and I are going to hook up like Monday or Tuesday, and he was going to try and get us the file that he actually worked on Thursday. But I can show you here real quick. What we can do is, so this is the 30 acres here, and this is just a garden apartment concept, but what the software allows you to do is, we can flip through, there's a couple different presets here, but it lets you just take a site and very quickly put different layouts on the site. So for instance, when we're looking at something like this parcel here, we can take this and in real time, actually, I'll just delete this one and show you how it works in real time. So we can start a new site, tell it what we would like to put on there: garden, urban, podium, a tower, a parking lot, unparked.
Do a podium,
Do a podium.
sir.
Okay. So we can just take that and we can start drawing a site here on that 30 acres. And then we immediately have a building, a 2-story parking with 5 stories of apartments over the top of it with amenity space here. And we can change that. That's set to be 10,000 square feet right now. We can go through the different levels. I know we can also, I know there's a way to actually push like one level of parking down, you know, so we could have a layer of underground parking. But when we go back into plan view and then we go up, we can start to see the different levels of the building. So here's our amenity space. We can instantly take this and say, instead of 10,000 square feet, let's put that down to 4,000 square feet. We can single load it and have it just be on one side of the corridor, or we can have it be at the end here. We can say it's okay to put it in the garage. We can tell it what level we want it to be on, so we can move it up if we'd like. We can.
Can you also show maybe on that larger track, on that larger piece, or even on that piece, how you can just move it around and
Yeah.
even if it were garden style?
Yeah, so even if it's garden style like this, we can take a point, and as we move the property line, it's immediately changing all these townhomes here.
You're not having to move the townhome because you move the property line and adjust everything. That's really cool.
Yep.
You do it based on setbacks of the land, how
Yeah.
it's zoned.
So all those things can be factored in, the setbacks and everything, and then it just
Mhm.
figures out a
Yes.
layout.
He did yours yesterday. The guy, Jack, that is
Have
with
you
the
showed her
software
yet?
company. No, that's what Leif said. He's gonna get him that file
Yeah.
and be able to show it.
Yeah, it looks really.
Okay,
So
so factor all those things in based on the city's requirement and just plug them in, and then it just.
Mhm.
If we had this, I don't know that the city would I don't know that they would accept this in a zoning meeting,
Okay,
but I think that, and Don, help me if I'm wrong, but I think that the way Jack played with this the other day, that if we sat in a zoning meeting and showed them, this is what the site could look like. Oh, you want the road here, oh, you want the road
Right, and then you
there,
just
the
add a
But
sidewalks
tree.
here.
it also kind of makes it feel like, during the zoning itself, we could, progress things, because it's not like a lot of going back and
Right.
forth, you can just.
Do it right
demonstrate
here.
right
Uh-huh.
On the
Yeah.
Zoom.
Show
Yeah, so
how it,
Okay.
for instance, we can just take this road and if we want to move it up, the city says they don't want the intersection here. We can move it up. We can change the angle of this,
And now I see
change
what
the angle
you're
here.
excited about.
Yes, on any piece of
Mhm.
land.
isn't
And
that
then
cool?
we want 3-story garden apartments, or we want, and there it is.
Yeah. Then we can come into the housing, change our floor to floor heights. Let's see, zoning, we can change somewhere here. I know there's number of stories actually. So we can change the number of stories on the fly. And then in 3D view here, we can go over to render. And this will kind of be colored, as we can take the color off of these units, but are you able to see that window?
We see,
This rendered window over the top?
no,
Okay, let me reshare that.
Because what I'm thinking is, even if we designed it the way we think it'll work, if the civil guy thinks that works, if we had this program as a backup for the March 22 meeting,
Okay,
if they say, well, yeah, we would do that, but we need this or this, it could be adjusted to get their approval.
during the meeting.
Yeah.
exactly, it saves a lot of time,
Mhm.
and they get to see it visually, and we just can
That's
make
correct.
things happen on the fly.
And
Which
the
I
guy
don't
Jack,
think is possible with the traditional
anywhere
methods.
else, that's correct.
Okay,
But then they have to agree to make the spontaneous decision there.
Well,
Those people will know,
That is
because
also true.
they are not the ones, because I know that Anna people are taking the help of Frisco city people.
Okay.
So they have to sit and explain to them, and they are the ones who are saying,
Would be
okay,
say,
yes
okay.
or no, yes.
But we could have it where they like it, don't make a decision, save it, print it, we'll email it to you.
You know,
and
make
it's-
a video while
Right.
you're
Yeah.
showing it, so
Right.
that it's easy for them
For sure.
to show, and then at least it will be like less number of, the time will be
And
less.
your land is where in Frisco?
Mine, not in Frisco, it is in Anna.
Okay,
I
gotcha.
have one in
Okay.
Anna, and then I have
I
one
just
in.
closed on a
McKinney.
land, okay, McKinney, in Frisco, Mr. Paca is his name, off Main and Coit, right there on that corner.
okay,
Um,
that's fair. Okay.
Brinkman Ranch.
yeah, that area. So he did, he's gonna do single family development there. Yeah, I understood a land loan.
That's
for
where
him
I
there.
live. in
Yeah,
Simple
okay,
Country.
awesome, yeah. Uh-huh.
Because
But-
doesn't this at the same time tabulate green space percentages and all of that someplace?
Yeah, you can actually, here you have your area ratio, floor area ratio. So if there's a city that, says what your ratio has to be, floor area to green space, you can enter that information in. It's instantly telling you on the fly, here we have 20 dwelling units per acre. If we go to a different scheme here, I think they're all pretty similar at this point, but well, this one we're at 15.3, just because we have these townhomes and then this podium here. But so as you can do all these different options live, and it'll tell you, how many dwelling units per acre you have. Then you can set up metrics to make sure you're not over height. You don't have too much developable floor area, not enough green space. So you can set it up per the city's requirements, parking stalls, all that stuff. It's keeping track of how many parking spaces and everything you have.
Lath, will you hit that development button?
Yeah, yep.
Land cost, we can plug in what the costs are. We can put in our cap rate, and we can put in and it will, if we get really specific about our units and our operating costs, it'll come out down here and tell us everything about it on the, as we're.
Yes. So each option, you have a deal panel here, and you can put in that, as we adjust the land cost, it's adjusting the development, the performa on the fly. Soft costs, what your rentable square footage is. It's also keeping track of, is it here? Keeping track of what your rentable square footage is, what your non-rentable square footage is, all those things. So you have a live performa.
Already plugged in.
This is very exciting.
Really cool, huh?
So you can, especially, I know for us, it's like only have one project, but for you guys,
Yeah, when you have all this stuff going on, yeah.
saves a lot of time.
Oh, and time, and look how impressive it is for
Yeah,
Dr.
yeah.
Unger to come in and go, oh, that could be my piece of
Right.
land, I can have that right now, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
And it doesn't
And then
have
we
to
can
be-
estimate costs once we just, they're giving us a 3-week trial because we're gonna buy this program. I just got introduced to it with Lath and Dawn this past week, 2 days ago. And I mean, the timing just couldn't be more
Yeah.
right, everything, as you said, lining up.
That's awesome.
Very exciting.
Very exciting.
What technology can do.
Yeah. And when you see what it looks like, the way he did it the other day. oh,
What, hers?
Yes.
It looks
Oh.
really cool. I got a sneak peek at it, and I was just like, oh.
You got that recording on your phone yet, don't you, Alvin?
I do,
That's
Dawn,
what I
I
was
sure
thinking. I was
do.
like, where's the one that I saw?
Yes, I do.
So this is all parking, is yellow ones, yellow colored ones.
Those ones townhouses, I believe.
Yeah, the yellow.
Because we're doing townhouses around the perimeter.
Oh, okay,
At-
oh,
at
okay,
least
got it.
That way, because we have a single family in this community, so we didn't want them to feel like, we're just right in.
Yeah, like
Right,
looking
our
over on
backyards.
them, yeah.
The perimeter will be around the 3 bedrooms.
Mhm.
And what exactly is it the Collin County outer loop? Is it that road or what, which road is that in Anna?
I think it is.
That is Highway 5 and then 423 is right there. And that little road that they want in there would connect the homes behind the land to be able to come out to Highway 5. And they said if in the zoning notification that we got, that if we put it into spec, they reimburse us for the road.
They would?
Yeah,
Why didn't
I read that in the email. And so by doing that, you basically create
And then we're also
some
going
more
to put
commercial
a
space.
retail strip, so that also
Right.
kind of serves for those folks to come in. But one of the things we were discussing is that make the area whole busy, because they're
Yeah.
accessing. If you put in the really less speed limits, like 15 and 10, might
Right.
really discourage people to do that. Like,
Yeah.
That's true.
yeah, that's the only way. And if it takes longer, then people will be like, "We're not used to it."
What is that easement, that little lake there?
We have a pond,
Pond.
so that's.
A retention pond.
Detention?
Mhm.
Retention for
Yeah.
large.
Flood zone, that's okay.
We already have it on the property, so
Okay.
that is also counted towards the green space
Mhm.
requirements. I am now like saying these things.
I was gonna say,
Oh,
well, since she
like,
is like.
I just learned on the fly.
I love it. But isn't it like the more you like hear it, keep talking about it, it's like.
It's exciting.
But from the first time you get it, you're like, okay, I need to know how to talk about this, like, you're just like spilling it out. Good job.
How can I fast forward this thing? Oh, okay, good, because I was going the wrong way.
Yeah, just do, like, yeah, just move that little.
Pond,
bar
the
thing.
water in there, good.
I think, you're asking about the location. So this is Texas 5. So we're not on Texas 5. We have,
Right,
we're right inside a little bit. Madhula, it's just a small distance we have between Mentre I quelli là stato del Texas fanno where is it and they kind of goes like at the beginning of
423.
it.
It's suddenly done just.
Don, it doesn't look as impressive on my
She's
phone.
right,
Oh, but look,
Mumsy is right. Cause that's Highway 5,
Mhm.
so that's the one that we're building, and yours is right off
White. No, ours, yeah. Counter loop.
this, no, isn't it? Wait,
That's
Go down a little bit
counter.
more.
I think it's
Here,
right there, yeah,
Up here that,
So these are the
Right.
Anna Town
Right
Square
here.
homes.
There it is.
yeah, there
Right
it is.
here,
County
that's right.
Road, yeah,
this is it.
like right here, right?
this
Yeah,
is the
'cause that's that
You can see the
pond,
pond, yeah.
that pond they were
This is
showing.
the 50 acres that belongs to another guy, and this is ours. This is right here. We're not on Texas 5, but we're with.
Yeah, like right, boom.
Yes. But I don't want this to be on Texas 5.
Right. And then that road they want to come through.
This is what, is this the
Anatone Square.
Anna Town Square?
Yeah, that's all the holding on the right side is Anatone Square.
So it's more towards a little bit north, south of the Anna Town Square, right?
Mhm.
This one?
Yes.
Okay, got it. And my land, Alvin, I'll show you, you have to go on 5, little forward, close to the downtown.
Yes, white and,
It's on Powell
Texas 5.
Parkway. It's right now, I am trying to, did we cross White Street?
I think we already crossed.
So,
it.
yeah, I saw White Street.
That is White Street.
Oh, yeah, I saw it, right, because we thought one, there it is,
Okay,
because there's a railroad track over here or
Yeah.
something, right?
so this is Highway 5, right?
Yeah, that is
Yes.
it.
We are still Highway 5. So there's a small lake actually here. Where's the down? This is the White Street downtown, right?
No, no,
White
no,
Street.
this is the White Street.
Yeah.
I think yours is,
Could I mean, we should have Sonic and post office and all that. Why isn't it showing?
oh, maybe it's
Oh,
not
it's an
updated
old
map.
picture.
Maybe it's the old Google, well, I just pulled it up on our phone.
Yeah, so
So you're right here in the corner of White Street and
White
5.
Street and 5, not too much corner because in the corner you have Sonic and then you
That's
have the
right,
post office.
Because when we were, before we purchased ours, we were going down here, we were thinking ours was off this White Street,
So
remember?
you guys are close to her.
So you are
Yeah.
doing apartment
Mhm.
complexes on the other side of the Highway 5?
Yes, ma'am. Right. You know where the transmission
This
shop
is,
is?
this is where ours is, right here, right there.
1200 Powell Parkway, that's yours?
Parkway.
Mhm.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
There's a transmission shop on the corner
Okay.
and the land right behind the 12 acres right behind that transmission shop. It has a mobile home on it right now.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the
See, I
transmission
know
shop. and
because
that's the home.
I got a letter from the city that there are plans to build an apartment complex. I think when you applied for zoning, usually they send
Somebody
letters
else
to all
applied for
owners.
zoning for another one.
Okay, so then you are different
Yes.
then, probably,
Yes.
yeah.
Theirs was rezoned out
In
2015.
Okay, so this, I think 1 year back,
Okay.
during the COVID,
Rezoning.
somebody tried to do the zoning for the multi apartment complexes
Okay.
on
Around the area.
in that area, which was like on the other side, I mean, the same side where your land is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, so the more
I'm-
popping up.
So-
Oh, there's gonna be a lot in there. I mean, I think the need
But
is
then,
like
I
5,000
don't know why
units.
nothing is happening right now. For some reason, it's kind of.
I think everybody's doing what we're doing right now.
Yeah, planning.
Yeah.
working,
Preparing.
For example, takes
Mhm.
I think the longest, yeah.
And then you'll look up by Christmas and be like, man, where all these
Where
apartments
everybody
come from?
go? Yeah.
No, in
Apartment
Lake Ranch,
homes.
now the whole thing is like, this mixed type of concept. Someone built 400 plus apartments. It just happened in less than 7 months. Everything's ready, they're leasing. Just the
Wow.
groundwork is what takes.
Yeah,
time.
I know, this is what's taking time.
So who wants to fill the Texas with snow again?
I know.
Looks like snow. You never know with the global warming, maybe
Yeah,
we'll get this
no,
snow.
you never
And
know.
New York will become like Texas.
I was wondering about that, Alvin.
Yes.
So, what happened to us, the freeze, which believed to happen for every 10, 15 years, which seems to, could be happening in future again. So in the way now that we are constructing, we have the power to, keep these things in mind, which are very weird things.
We won't break a pipe from
No.
freezing in these.
Cool.
2 reasons. Here in Texas, most of the water is on the outside walls. We look out the kitchen window and run the sink and that pipe is right there. So
Yeah.
it freezes. All of the water in these units are in interior walls, nothing on the perimeter.
Okay.
And so with Don them being up in Minnesota, that's how they build.
Oh, right, right. You know,
Yeah.
because those guys have to deal with the cold.
That's one of the, and then, of course, their frost line is 4 feet deep, so.
Wow.
So they have to have basements, and so that's why they insulate the foundations and all kind of things.
Yeah, that's right.
And when you can learn how to keep it warm, surely, Don, it should stay cool pretty easy, right?
It's the same principle in both ways. You're keeping it cool where it's warm. We just try to keep it warm where it's cool. So you know, the principle of how a structural insulated panel is made is the same as a walk-in cooler. So you can go into Sam's or Costco, you're in a building that's 70 degrees and the dairy part is just made out of structural insulated panels. You walk in there and it stays cool. So they don't necessarily have it inside, outside, and they don't care which way the flop and temperature goes.
Makes sense. You make it sound so simple.
It's the simplest thing building science wise, because a lot of people don't realize, like, you know, you guys, if you take your cold days, like we have our hot time in the summer, you actually, if you build a stick built wall and insulate the cavity, you have to, your vapor barrier should always be on the warm side of the wall. Well, the tricky part for us is the warm side of the wall changes about 5 months out of the year. So same thing with you guys. You would build a house one way to make it work in the summer. Technically, in your cool time of the year, you should build the wall in reverse, because that's a one-sided wall. The unique thing with a structural insulated panel is it doesn't, from a thermal standpoint, have an inside or outside. So you don't put a vapor barrier on it. The wall itself is the vapor barrier. And not trying to get into the weeds, but that's why it works really well. And it's one of only 2 types of construction that I can build the same house in Minnesota and move it to Texas, and it works.
So SIP panels can be used to build for
Yeah,
houses. But are they cost efficient for single family houses?
Yes, they will be.
They will.
We're gonna do, well, that big house we're building, that 12,000 feet house next to that monster we just saw.
So you guys are putting SIP panels? there?
Yes, that house is gonna be SIP panels.
Where, which is-
Cedar Hill, that
Oh,
he's
so
building.
Next to that big house we just showed you, Don's gonna manage
So
that
you have
construction.
already
That basement
purchased
I
the
had
land
for
and
you
all
guys,
that?
it's a
Yes, ma'am.
demonstration.
It's on 4.5 acres.
No.
It's 2 acres buildable and 2
Guys
acres
get
fall
big
off the
tax
backside
rates.
of the mountain.
Trying.
We're using that.
The lot was 600 and we've got a 1.4-ish budget to build it. And with him selling that house for 9 million, that's my comp.
You already are making money, so much money.
Comps are similar ones. You cannot sell an apartment or a condo and say, here's the $1 million.
And so several of these developments, we're gonna do build to rent homes.
So maybe it makes sense to have these SIP panels for high-end type of houses initially, or it doesn't matter?
It doesn't matter,
Not for, even for starter houses,
Yes.
these will make sense?
even more, because
Yeah.
you can sell that $250,000 starter home.
Mhm.
I could sell it for $290 now. Because you're not
Because
gonna
they're
have a light
saving with
bill.
the utilities.
These are-
Everything comes back to cost of ownership.
Right.
So when you buy that home, you make your payment. Now it's, what are you paying for utilities? What are you paying for this? And
And I
when
think
you take
I thought
cost
that-
of ownership, that's where it really changes.
it will be more appealing. than
Oh,
the folks
very
that live in
sensitive to
million
that. Yeah, the $1 million home is looking for the quality of home. So structural integrity being better, the air better, quiet. But in the smaller
Smaller
home,
ones, it's the money, how much you're paying for the month at
yes.
the end of the month.
That makes a huge difference. Okay. No wonder why you guys want to put that plant down in doing this
Yeah.
side, because there's a lot going to come in terms of construction.
Right.
There's a lot
Well,
of
even just
building.
for us, just doing it for our projects, anywhere literally between Corsicana and Dallas or Sherman would be fine for us. Because it's 30 miles either way.
Okay, and then I think there's highway access,
That's
so
correct.
shipping them across these
The
This area
Metroplex is no big deal.
not a- Have you guys thought about putting this in Austin area?
Plant
No,
or,
no, just, implementing these for any down there in that area. And I
Actually-
don't think anyone's using there in that area. I don't know.
actually, we're writing an offer for a 28-acre tract of land in San Marcos.
Mhm.
They said up to 1,000 units, but I think the pro forma had about 750.
Yeah.
units.
Okay, own project or JV with someone?
I'm sure we'll be a JV with somebody. My buddy is the broker and he turned us on to the land.
Okay,
And so if we can secure the land, then we'll find partners that are willing.
so what's the acquisition price of the?
20 million
How
for
big is
28
it?
acres.
28 acres.
Yeah.
The beauty of that is in what they have established as a PFC, a tax exempt.
I don't know how to do it.
So that asset will be forever tax exempt. The caveat to the tax exempt is you have to provide some level of affordable housing.
Ah, okay,
That's not bad.
okay,
50% of the units are affordable, 50 of them are market. The level of affordability is of the 50% that's affordable, 90% of those are for people that make 80% of the area median income. So the area median income being 60,000, they make 48,000, they can live there. And the rent for that person is the same as the market rent. So there's no delineation.
okay.
The only ones that have a reduced rent are the last 10% of the 50,
Okay.
and that is for people that make 30% of the area median income. So their rent is about $700. But 10% of 700 units, that's 70 units sprinkled throughout the whole complex. You're helping somebody that really needs that level of housing. And
So the numbers are better with the tax exemption because you're now getting for everything.
Mhm.
And so you got a $350 million asset that you're not paying property tax on. It's about
Oh
Oh my
$70
God,
million.
I never heard like a lifelong, no tax exemptions.
Yes,
Usually they
Yeah.
give like a certain period of time, right?
yes, a lot of
Yes,
times they give you 7 years, 10 years.
Yeah.
But this group they have congressional authority to establish these PFCs, and I'll find the acronym to establish that for affordable housing. So they just last year was given that designation to be able to do that.
So it's in city of San Marcos?
Yes, it's right on,
35.
right on 35.
Mhm.
Wow. So it does make sense to buy the land for that price?
Mhm.
He said the last one they sold that was like that was tax exempt. The guys that bought it paid $46,000 per key for the dirt.
Oh my goodness.
You know, we were talking about 17 and 20 being, because we pay so much on property taxes, but you can double that because you have no taxes.
Makes sense.
Not PF Chang.
Huh?
Well, Don and Leif, man, ladies, did y'all have any more questions for them? I just wanted Leif to test drive that software for you, and he'll be able to get us a copy of hopefully yours, first part of this week that we did. Don, what do you think? You think so, Leif?
Yeah, I think so. Yep.
Okay, no questions. It's just amazing tool. Thank you for introducing us to that. I might have more questions as I process this, but thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
And
No
then my
problem.
best driver, like,
I know, that's the best thing.
you're supposed to be the first one going through all this test drive, but I get the excitement. But
Well, and the site we have in Anna, the civils have already been done,
yeah.
so we can't change the footprint of that at all.
So you're not going to change? Or I thought you were planning to.
We're going to represent it to the city with the new buildings because that pre-plat was only good for 18 months.
Oh. okay.
And they did it in 2015 or 2016.
Long time ago.
So we'll just get the new buildings that we're gonna put on the same exact plat and give it back to them.
Oh, so you're not deviating from
No.
whatever. Oh,
No.
okay. that you would
No.
be,
No, we're not gonna change it, because it costs too much to go have all the engineering done.
so the civils done already?
Yes.
Oh, I thought only entitlements were done,
No.
not the civils.
No, we have complete civil plans, landscape plans, all of it. We're just changing the buildings on it.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, and let me know if you have any other questions this afternoon. I'm around all afternoon, Alvin, and if we want to sit down early next week when I'm a little deeper into it and do another run through, we can.
Yeah, I'd love to. I played around in it this morning, and so I'm gonna start setting some stuff in there and
Okay,
just to play with it.
all right.
Don, I guess once Tim and them said they were gonna talk about, did they want a license or did we want to buy one subscription and buy 2 extra licenses that way? So I guess we'll work that out with them this week. Okay,
All right, thank you. Nice to meet you.
okay, talk to you soon.
Nice seeing you again, Ramsey. Nice meeting you. You can give me a holler later, Alvin, if you get some time. I've got a couple
Will.
things to go over with you. So, okay.
Thank
See you
you.
guys later.
All right.
Bye.